I say this every single month, but I cannot believe that it is already in December. The year is almost over. I've actually been journaling in the morning lately, my theme has been about time, how fast time seems to go. Sometimes my anxiety makes it feel like I am being held above a conveyor belt and my life is a conveyor belt and I'm being held there, my life's just going by. That's like how it feels in my brain. But it's something I'm working on my mindset around time, how time is really unchanging. It's never faster, it's never slower. It's always the same. It's just how I decide to use my time. It makes my days feel longer or shorter, etc. So it's still crazy that it's already December. And I also don't really like that I don't know, I used to love the last month of the year because I was so focused on goals and becoming a new person and what I wanted to be like the next year. And not to sound like negative, but after so many years of disappointment, I just don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't know. I'm definitely still making my goals. I am very excited for the next year. I love making new goals. I love the idea of starting new, starting fresh. It's part of the reason why I love doing these resets every single month. It really helps me, keeps me accountable. I'm excited to carry this through next year. So the way this video is set up, it will be very similar to all of my other videos, except I've added just a few things. I will talk about what I'm going to improve this coming month. I'm going to talk about what went well the past month. And then I'm going to go into my goals for the month, and I break that up into two different parts, business and personal. And then I always talk about my favorite items from the previous month. And then this month I'm actually adding in books that I've read in the previous month. So we'll just start with what I am going to improve during the month of December. I really want to focus on living in the present moment. Like I mentioned earlier, I have really been struggling with my idea of time, feeling like I can't keep up with the days, like time is just passing me by. It's just a feeling of not being in control of my day. Something else that has been helping, which I have been keeping up with, is journaling in the mornings. It's a good way to start my morning too, to kind of filter through any thoughts I have. I often wake up with not the most positive thoughts in the morning for some reason, and it really helps bring myself again back into the present moment, back into reality, and kind of work through anything that I'm feeling. I'm also going to improve my YouTube schedule this month. I have yet another month where I haven't really done that very well. I have so many videos that I'm currently editing, so I'm just trying to finish the videos and get them posted. So that is something I want to improve in December. What I loved about November, I shopped a lot. I'm sure everyone did. And I stuck to my closet rule of when I bring something new in, I take something out of my closet. And that felt really good. It was kind of hard. It really helps me decide if I really want to buy that item, if I really need it or not. I also really liked that I met my goals in November. I actually had all my November goals on a sticky note and kept it on my bathroom mirror, so I saw it every single day, multiple times a day. And that really helped keep me accountable, and I think that made a big difference. All right, and now into my December goals. We'll start with my goals for my business, The Jess Tales. As I mentioned, I do want to do a weekly YouTube videos. Like I mentioned, I just need to edit everything that I've already filmed and get it posted. I need to finish accounting. I need to catch up on my income and my expenses for the business. I've been keeping track almost every single month, so it shouldn't be that big of a project. I just want to close out my 2023 accounting. I also want to come up with a posting schedule for short form content. I'm thinking like one short form vlog a week, which would be different from my YouTube vlogs. And I've really been loving doing my outfit of the day. It's fun for me to actually style the clothes that I buy. I want to get that set in stone and stick to it. And my December goals for myself. The first goal is something I started about a week ago. I've been running 1 mile every single day, which if you would have told me I was running a mile a day last year, I would have probably barfed because I hated running. But in the summer, I got into running through the Nike Run app and I fell in love with running. I came across this guy's Instagram. I will put his Instagram up here because I'm not sure what his username is, but he has such great motivational videos on there, and he runs a mile a day, and it really inspired me so much so that I just started it one day and I have not missed a day. It's amazing how if I have a headache or if I feel really tired and I do my run, all of a sudden I have energy for the rest of the day. And I also need to stretch. With running comes tight hamstrings, tight hips. I also work out in a gym. I lift weights at least 3 times a week. So I really need to make sure that I'm stretching every day. I have been sticking to it, but I want to continue that through December. For the past week or so, I've finally gotten back into a good morning routine where I am up at the same time every day around 6 or 6:30. I do my journaling. I read my book from Brianna Weist, I believe is how you say her name. I think I said Brianna Weist or Weist in my last video, but I featured her book in one of my favorites in my past monthly reset. But it's called The Pivot Year, and every single day you have this passage to read, and it's very thought-provoking. So I've been doing that every morning as well. When I have a good morning routine, I feel like the days go by slower, and I think it's because I feel way more in control of my day, and that's just so important for me mentally, so I want to continue with my morning routine in December. And lastly, I want to get back into meditation. I'm reading a book right now called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I'm only 10% done right now, but so far it is so good, and I know we're about to get into the section on meditation. When I used to meditate a lot, I remember feeling so inspired. I felt like I was in control of my monkey mind, as they call it, and I felt like I was in control of my day. I was more present, so I really want to do that in December. The next part are my favorites from the previous month. I'm going to direct you to my monthly newsletter, which is something I just started back last month. My favorites are going to be in the newsletter, but it will be everything I purchased Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's not a ton, but it's pretty good stuff. And the last section is my new edition, the books that I read in November. I actually write out my summary, some quotes that I loved from that book, and my newsletter. My goal for 2023 was to read 60 books, and I don't think I'm going to make it, seeing as I only have a month left, but I am on book number 45 right now. Okay, the first book I read in November is The Things We Left Behind. This is the third book in a series by Lucy Score. It is romance, suspense. They're funny too. I laugh in them. The first book I read in the series, I loved. I could not put the book down. I was obsessed with it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The second one I thought was okay, and then the third one, it just wasn't as good. Plus, some of the scenes were very explicit and a little bit too explicit for my taste, and it's pretty corny, cheesy, which I don't mind, but this just kind of took it to another level, and I didn't really love the plot and the character development. So for that reason, I gave it 3 stars. The second book I read is a 5-star book. This book I loved so much. I've never highlighted so many parts of a book than I did with this one. It honestly changed my life and my perspective. It was such a good read. It is by Matt Haig, and from that same author, I just finished reading How to Stop Time, which I rated 4 out of 5. The reason why I gave it 4 is because I loved the philosophy in the book, and I did a lot of highlighting, but it wasn't really as interesting to me as Midnight Library, so I knocked off a star for that one. So if you want to hear more about those books, my full summaries of them and my full review, I will have it in my newsletter, and the link to my newsletter is in the description box below, and you can easily sign up. It is just once a month, right around the time that this video gets released. I really hope that you enjoyed this December reset. I am so excited for the holidays. December is probably my favorite month of the year. I love Christmas. I actually love the cold weather. I wish I lived somewhere where it snowed, and I'm probably only saying that because I don't live somewhere where it snows all the time. I'm wishing you guys the best holiday season. I am praying for those of you who are maybe missing a family member or having any other rough season of life. I know that everyone has different Christmases. Some are super exciting with a newborn. Maybe others are really sad if it's like the first holiday without someone that you love, but I'm thinking of you. I hope you have a good holiday season no matter what. Just remember the reason for the season, as they say. There is someone out there who is looking down, looking out for you, and you're never alone. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my monthly newsletter if you want more information on my favorites from last month, as well as my book reviews and just a bunch of other things. I go into a lot more detail on how my month was in those monthly newsletters, and I will see you next week. Bye, friend.